What's up, everybody? It's Lex Luthor here from Denied Reality. Today, I'm bringing you a story about the 10 worst Chicago neighborhoods for 2018. Especially with these people talking about the UN troops moving into Chicago, maybe for martial law or whatever. I think I'd give you this article, let you know what neighborhoods maybe you'd want to stay away from. It says they use science and data to determine which Chicago hoods are the pits. It's by Nick James. On December 31st, 2017, this article is opinion based on facts and is meant to be infotainment. Don't freak out. It's a picture of Riverdale. Chicago's neighborhoods conjure up too many stereotypes to count. You've got hipster areas, preppy places, neighborhoods where college kids thrive, and of course ghettos. As a whole, the region consistently ranks as one of the best places to live across the country thanks in part to a strong economy and tons of entertainment. It seems as if there's a neighborhood for everyone in Chicago. So the question arises, which Chicago neighborhoods are the worst and which are the best? Today we will use science and data to determine which Chicago hoods need a little tender loving care. The sore thumbs of the Chicago area, if you will. Realistically, you can't expect all the neighborhoods to be all amazing, although Forest Glen certainly tries. We examined 76 of Chicago's neighborhoods to find out the worst places to live. These 10 places are a little too far downwind of Chicago in terms of quality of life. Now, number 1, Riverdale. Number 2, Fuller Park. Number 3, Englewood. Number 4, West Englewood. Number 5, South Deering. Number 6, Washington Park. Number 7, New City. Number 8, Pullman. Number 9, West Pullman. And number 10, Grand Crossing. I'm surprised the Auburn Gresham area didn't make it in there. Read on to see how we determine the places around Chicago that need a pick-me-up. And remember, don't blame the messenger. We are also aware that we didn't list every single neighborhood. Like there are places like Wrigleyville and Wicker Park that are great neighborhoods, and thus we didn't measure them. You know that they are awesome already. And if you're looking for something more national, check out the worst cities in America or the most dangerous cities in America. Maybe I'll cover that one. How we determine the worst Chicago hoods. To figure out how bad a place is to live, we only need to know what kinds of things people like and then decide what cities have the least amount of those things. We threw a lot of criteria at this one in order to get the best, most complete result possible. Using the criteria found on Area Vibes, which itself gets data from the census, the FBI, and the Council for Community and Economic Research, here's what we learned, or measured. There's less jobs, low income, high population density, so it's very crowded in those areas. Low home values, higher crime. Well, I guess that would make sense in all those areas. There's no jobs. People need to do something to make money. So they probably sell some drugs or do some other illegal activities. Low incomes, yeah, everybody's tired of working for minimum wage, that's for sure. And high population density, that's probably because they have no jobs and they got nothing else better to do but to sleep with each other and have babies. And the government pays for them, so whatever. And I'm not stereotyping anyone because that's all racist. So it says we crunched the numbers and got the list from worst to best. Then we ranked the list based on the places that are the worst in all of these categories. Read on below to learn more about these places around Chicago to live, or skip to the end to see the list of all 76 suburbs ranked from worst to best. This list is a scientific analysis based on real data and is completely unbiased. Snarkiness incorporated for entertainment purposes only. Hold on to your pants. So don't get butthurt with all these things if you live in this neighborhood. I'm not picking on you. Riverdale, number 1. Population, 7,172. Median income. That means the average person makes $15,734 a year. The median home value, the average house is $23,943. That's pretty damn cheap. We'll get the ball rolling with Riverdale, the absolute worst neighborhood to live in or to live around Chicago, according to the data. It's shocking that in America we can have neighborhoods in which the entire population lives well below the poverty level like we do here in Riverdale. Actually, it's pretty sad, and it is. Crime is the absolute worst of any other Chicago neighborhood. Nearly 1 in 5 residents doesn't have a job, and homes sell for an average of $24,000. Yeah, we double checked. That's dirt cheap. $24,000, you could own that house in a year if you work anywhere outside of that neighborhood, pretty much. When you look at the numbers, it's easy to see why people are fleeing this neighborhood in droves. Riverdale is about halfway between downtown and Chicago Heights along I-94. If you find yourself lost, don't get off on East 130th Street. That's Riverdale. That's bad. Number 2 on the list is Fuller Park. Population 2508. Median income is $19,195. Average house costs $91,000. That's kind of not too bad right there. Want to play a joke on your friends? Text them that you are going to Fuller Park for a house party and see their reactions. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been down to Fuller Park for a couple house parties in my time. Up the road a bit from Auburn Gresham is a teeny hood of Fuller Park. And we mean this. This place is a real hood. All of the near 3,000 residents live in or very near poverty. And this is the second most dangerous place you can live in the Chicago area. No wonder homes sell for around $91,000 each. We're surprised it's even that high. Especially in like an area where high crime is. Why would somebody pay almost $100,000 to live in that area? Englewood. See that? 63rd Street, Marquette, Halsted, right off the interstate there. Population is 27,122. Median income is $19,930. Median home value $96,432. That's just a little bit higher than the last neighborhood, than Fuller Park. Englewood is slightly smaller, much poorer twin of West Englewood. Here, folks are just straight living in poverty. Believe it or not, but at $20,000 a year, that's only the third poorest hood in South Chicago. A family of 4 needs about $25,000 a year to stay out of poverty every year, according to the government standards. Government standards, yeah. It's just about as dangerous here as it is next door in West Englewood. You don't want to walk alone through these places, even in the daytime. Here we go, number 4, West Englewood. I don't know, there's a lot of places in Chicago that you can walk around in the daytime, and I'm sure some of these places are pretty safe. There's nothing against, and I'm not trying to be racist, but I grew up in Chicago. I lived in Chicago. I'd definitely rather walk through an all-black neighborhood than all-Mexican neighborhood, because the Mexican people, man, they're just mean, and they're going to take all your shit. The black people just want your money, all right? But all in all, there's good people in those neighborhoods anyway, and I know that for a fact, too. But here we go. What is West Englewood? The population is 34,129 people. The average income is $29,000, so it's just under $30,000. That's not bad. The median home value is $95,000, almost $96,000. That's still pretty decent. West Englewood is down a few spots from last year, but still isn't a great place to live. You know this place is bad when Google auto-suggests West Englewood crime before you even finish typing the neighborhood's name. West Englewood's crime is the 3rd worst of all Chicago neighborhoods. And just about the entire population struggles to make ends meet every month. This neighborhood is defined as the area surrounded by West Garfield Boulevard, South Racine Avenue, and a couple blocks of railroad tracks. So yeah, this hood is on the other side of the tracks, literally. South Deering. Big Marsh Park. All right, South Deering. Population 15,532. The average house costs $37,259. That's the average income. Excuse me. The average house costs $104,400. So far, all the worst neighborhoods in Chicago are on the south side. That isn't a surprise at all. South Deering is a densely packed hood. Here, crime isn't as bad as it is for the cities above, but it's still really still really rough. When 16% of the neighborhood is out of work, and families bring in about 37K a year, you're going to have some break problems to contend with. Washington Park. Population 11,647. Median income about 25K. Average house value about 142K. The neighborhood of Washington Park, where it is dangerous and poor. Incomes are actually on the lower side here relative to other neighborhoods on this list, which puts into perspective just how broke some of the neighborhoods are in South Chicago. How broke the neighborhoods in South Chicago are, because they're all poor as shit. Excuse my language there. New City, I don't know where this is, man. Ardmore Pants, New City, the back of the yards. All right, I kind of know where that is. 42K is the population. Median income 35 or 32K, almost 33K. The average house is 128K. This is the 8th most dangerous hood in Chicago, and homes are only valued at $128,000 as a result. On the bright side, only 10% of the residents in New City are unemployed. That's still twice the national average, but good for a Chicago hood. Here's the Pullman area. Population, let's just say 7K, 7,000. Median income is just under 40,000, and the average house is just under 102,000. Continuing our journey of the worst Chicago neighborhoods, we come to Pullman, which is a bit worse than West Pullman. Here most of the residents live at or below poverty, and crime is far higher than its other neighborhoods in the Chicago area. You have a 1 in 20 chance of being the victim of a crime in every year you spend in West Garfield Park neighborhood limits. That's 1 in 20 chance every year. That's pretty. I think you should move. To get here or to get there, head due west. Never mind, you wouldn't want to go there. Yeah, good. Number 9, West Pullman. We got a population of 28,000. The income is just under 35,000, and the house value is just under 114,000. West Pullman clocks in at number 9. Almost 14% of the people who live here don't work, and homes go for less than 114,000 on average. Trust us, there's a reason there's no demand to live here. And coming up on the last one is Grand Crossing. It's right by the Oakwood Cemetery there, eh? Population of 33K. The median house, man, is 30K, the median income is 30K, and the house value is just sitting at 122K. Grand Crossing is the final worst Chicago neighborhood to make this list. The Grand Crossing neighborhood of Chicago is between East 76 and East 79th. It's not too far away from the lake. If you want to head to the lake, you'd best veer around this place since it's very dangerous and poor. The only reason Grand Crossing didn't rank higher is that it's a lot less crowded than most other neighborhoods in the region, and we felt as if less crowded was a good thing. The hoods around Chicago that are really hoods, well, there you have it. The worst of the hoods surrounding Chicago, with West Englewood landing ahead of the pack. As we mentioned earlier, the neighborhoods around Chicago aren't all bad. Forest Glen takes the cake as being the best neighborhood you can live in. Other great Chicago hoods: Beverly, Edison Park, near Southside, Norwood Park. Now that I'm done reading this, you'll definitely enjoy a funny visit to Chicago commercial we found. Click here to watch it. For the chart below, there's a rank from worst: Riverdale, Fuller Park, South Chicago, Burnside, North Lawndale, Roseland, Woodlawn, Chatham. East Side, there's Auburn Gresham coming in at 18. East Garfield Park, Chicago Launch, West Washington Heights, Oakland, Avalon Park, Gage Park, Austin, West Garfield Park. Look at all this. Grand Boulevard, Calumet Heights, Humboldt Park. You would think that would rank higher. I know I would. Lower West Side, Clearing, Montclair, Mount Greenwood, Bridgeport. Coming into better areas here: Hyde Park, Forest Glen, Lincoln Square, Logan Square, the Loop, near North Side, North Center, Lakeview. Lincoln Park is the best area to live in Chicago, it says. That's probably because the zoo's there, and it's a really cool place. And it's free. Later.